it's Christine. Time for a Scraplift Crafternoon. This week's layout is by Denise Downs Donahue. And what she's got is a single photo, and she's got like all these little like banner tabby things, like little pieces. 4 layers of those, and then she has like it's like a piece of white cardstock with a border punch, and she's got, I don't know what that is. I can't tell if that's, I think she might have stitched that, those little flowers. Your girl will not be stitching, I'm sorry. A couple of flower embellishments or titles that looks like an acrylic title. And it almost looks like she has another little strip of colored paper on this side to kind of balance out all the color over here. So really pretty. I like that. That's really neat. And then what I pulled out is, I have this little cat picture, you guys. This is Oreo, and he's staring at a squirrel. Do you see that? This little dude is a hunter, man. He hunts bugs here. He eats them here. And what I have is this Doodlebug collection called, what's this thing called? Oh, shoot, y'all. Pretty Kitty, I guess. I just dropped everything. Well, oops. Pretty Kitty. And I think what I'm going to do, let me get this out of the way and I'll show you. I have plenty of little papers in here, but I think what I'm going to do, I also have pretty little tags here. That's not part of this layout, but isn't that cute? Is take this border paper here. I have all kinds of little papers here. Take this border paper, and I'm going to cut all these and turn them into the borders, because I think this is a great little paper for that. And I like the fact she's got them all the same size, I think, but I kind of like that these are different widths. So I'll cut these, and then I'll turn them into little banners, and I'll layer them on top of each other. I think that'll be cute. Of course, I still have all the little, cut aparts and things. I don't have an acrylic title, unless I do have, no. I have some acrylics, but it's not anything related to this, so that's not going to work. Now, that being said, I may have to get a piece of white cardstock out. There's a pretty little grid, so that kind of works. She had a little grid. It was a tone on tone, but it's a little grid. So that could be cute. I may have to pull out, like I said, a piece of white cardstock. I have all kinds of little papers here, you guys. But that's my thinking. Yeah, so let me get my white cardstock, and I'll be back on in a second. Okay, you guys, quick check-in, because I have cut that piece of paper into these strips, and I know that's going to take me a minute to go through and cut these into little borders. So I'm going to do that off camera, but I wanted to show you that. Now, what I've also done is I've grabbed my white cardstock, and my plan is to kind of use this on the side. She has a grid, but it's not colored, but I'm going to use this little colored grid here. And then I have the sticker sheet. She had like a border punch, but I think I'm going to use like these little, there's like 4 little border strips here that I think would be great. So I think this pink one would be cute, but I think I'll use, a couple of those, because she also has one down here. So I may use, the little, maybe the paw prints on this side. Yeah. So I need to, and then also I have these papers here. I think I'm going to mat the photo on. I don't know if I'm going to do white behind this or not. I might do white behind this guy. If I do that, though, I'll run out of room, so that's not going to work. Do I do it behind the pink? Give me a piece of white cardstock, you guys. Here we go. Or do I do it behind the white on top of that? That is a tricky question for myself. I kind of like the green against it because it's a little more contrast. Sorry. So I may do this. Anyways, so that's where I'm at. So give me just a minute, because I have to do these little borders here, and I know that's going to take a minute. Oh, that's interesting. I know that's going to take me just a minute. So let me do those, and I'll be back on in a second. And when I said just a minute, I meant a hot minute, y'all. It took me a little while. So what I did is I did do a little fishtail banner edge, and then I would trim off basically 2 inches, and then I would do the next one. And I think I did that 4 times. I had a little more than 2 inches at the last part, but I got enough to do the 4 layers was kind of my intention. I knew I needed, the other thing is, even though this was a 12 by 12 piece of paper, because there's just a tiny slight overlap on these things, you end up needing just a hair more. So when I say that, I mean a hair more than what the actual printed strips were. So as an example, in the first row, I end up having to duplicate the little orange paw print one. So you'll see I have some that are kind of duplicated. And then as I'm doing this, so I took a piece of tear tape and I laid that down, and I'm just kind of going along and putting my little pieces. I tried to keep them together in the order that I had cut them or whatever, and I kind of didn't. They get kind of shuffled around, but it's okay. because it doesn't really matter. It's just offering, the different patterns and the different little textures. I love this layout, you guys. It's not even, it took some time because of the little banner pieces, but really whenever you can use your paper to create the texture as opposed to having a bunch of lumpy, bumpy things, that's really nice because you don't have to have a bunch of extra stuff. You can scrapbook with your paper and your adhesive, right? Now, I do obviously add my ephemeras and things like that, but this was a really neat way to add your texture without having to have a bunch of embellishments. So I'm going to take my next row here. I don't make you sit and watch me do all the rows, but I'm just kind of showing you how I did it. I put the first little tear strip down. The second piece I'm going to put over the top of the kind of back ends of it because I'm letting it also adhere these together. And then I'm just going to kind of build this strip as well. And I'm just kind of trying to make sure that I don't have, I'm not sure how great a job I did, but I'm trying to make sure I don't have the same pattern next to each other. I'm trying to vary the color palette of the ones. It's a nice variety. You got your greens and there's a little yellow and pink and all different ones. And so I'm trying to just make sure that I'm giving myself a little variety. And I just realized I'm looking at this and I could have probably had one more of the little cat word ones, but it's okay. Anyways, I'm going to build the rest of this, and then I'm going to cut away because, again, you don't need to sit there and watch me because I do essentially the same process, and I make 4 little rows of these little banner things, and that took me just a second. Now, I have a staggered edge on the left-hand side because, as I mentioned to you, some of them were a little bit different lengths there toward the end, but I'm going to go ahead and solve that problem using this little green tone-on-tone little paw print paper, and then I'm going to cut that little grid down, and that's going to be the back side of that. And then I'm going to get into my sticker sheet because that's kind of what I mentioned in the beginning, that I was kind of pleased because there was 12-inch long borders. And so I'm liking this so far, you guys. I think this looks really cute. So what am I doing? Oh, I'm kind of fluffing out the edges a little bit. I don't put any foam or anything like that. Or that they're already, because when I cut the edges, I kind of curled them over anyway to do the cut. I did that on purpose because I wanted the little bit of texture. It works out well. So I'm going to lay this green piece down. That creates the straight edge. You can't see the back side of those little banner pieces. And then here's my little grid piece here. Y'all, this turned out so cute. I'm not going to lie. This little Doodlebug collection is adorable. I mean, it's just one of those you go, oh, you're so cute. And yeah, the little faces, and it's just adorable. Okay, so here I'm going to get in my sticker sheet, and there's 3 border stickers that I end up using. There's this little paw print scallopy one. She, I think, used a piece of pattern paper, to be honest with you, but I thought that looked really cute. And then I'm going to pull out this scallop pink, hot pink one. And I thought this looked kind of like, not exactly, but kind of how she had the little stitched flowers and stuff like that. It's kind of a throwback to that. And then this little orange squiggly line one, I actually tear it by accident. I'm like, what the heck, oops. And then the white pieces, I have to kind of poke those out. So it takes me just a second. I'm going to use my little tweezer deals. They don't come off. I used to have a little trick where I could put on the back side of a sticker sheet, and when you do pull away, the middle pieces will come out, but this one didn't work for some reason. I don't know if it's because a little bit older collection and just the adhesive was acting funny or what, but I got that down. I did have to use a little bit of Nuvo glue where I tore it to kind of hold it together. And then my title's just this little hunter. I'll tell you, this cat, he's almost, we're not going to call him feral. He's not feral. They did adopt him from a cattery, it was a little cafe, a cat cafe, I guess. And he's kind of sweet. I mean, he does kind of nip at you if you're not giving him enough attention. And he gets into trouble, which he's almost 2, but I still think he kind of acts real kitteny. And he's also this little hunter, right? He was real interested in the squirrel on the porch here. And then the other day I caught him, and he loves to chase bugs. And he catches this mud dauber, you guys. I was like, oh my gosh. And I'm looking at him, and this thing is kind of vicious looking. I don't think it's not terribly aggressive. It's not a wasp. It looks like a wasp, but it looks kind of mean. But it's not terribly aggressive. But he'd got a hold of it, and he was batting it around and picking up in his mouth and dropping it. I don't know. And then all of a sudden I hear this crunch, y'all, and he ate this bug. I'm like, oh my gosh. And any bug that gets in there, if he can catch it, he gets it and he'll eat it. And it's like, oh my gosh. So we try to avoid that. But he definitely likes to hunt bugs and anything basically else. If a gecko gets in the house, anything else, this little dude, he's all over it. So I call him the little hunter. So then I've got the title down there because she had the title underneath her photo. Well, I'm going to call it maybe a subtitle because she had a real big acrylic title, but then underneath the picture, she did have like that where it was. So she had a little title under there. So now I'm just kind of going through all that ephemera, you guys. Do you see all that? There's hundreds and hundreds of pieces, it seems like. Actually, there might be. I don't remember now what was on the package, but it seemed like it was
150 or 200 pieces or something. So I'm trying to figure out ways to use some of it. And I do find this little cat food bag. I find this little cat hiding in a paper bag. It's a little black cat hiding. And he does that kind of stuff too. So I thought, okay, that's kind of cute. And then there's a little cat coming out of the treats and the food. And yes, he does sneak into the pantry too. So you open the door to the pantry and that cat will just rush right in there. And he knows his snacks are in there. His food's in there. So he'll rush in there. And so I got that. I got a couple cans of food I'll put down there. And I take, oh, there's a little fish on a string. It's like a little toy. The dogs ate the string toy, you guys. It was kind of like this. We had like a little wand with a string on it, and the dogs ate it. So that was unfortunate. And then I think I found a little fish bone deal. I'll end up putting that up on foam, actually. I do put in the little window. This was so perfect. It was a little black cat looking out the window at a bird. So this wasn't a bird, obviously. It was a squirrel, but I thought, oh my gosh, that's so cute. That works perfectly. And then I just, I decided to add some Nuvo drops, you guys. I was like, you know what? I need to start getting into my mixed media over here. And I glanced over there. I go, oh, I have a hot pink and I have a little turquoisey one and a little black one. So I'm just going to put little batches of 3 all over the layout here. And you know, why not? She didn't have that, but I thought, well, I need to use something. I've got to get back into that stuff, you guys. So that is what I'm going to do here. I got this little turquoise one. This turquoise one's kind of got the stone texture to it. The pink one and the black one are like the more shiny, like pearl kinds. And then the turquoise has got the little stone feeling to it. I'm looking at this because I got the pink and the turquoise, and I go, I need one more color. And that's when I go, oh, I need that black one. I had to test them on my glass mat. I wasn't sure if they'd traveled well, so I was pleased to see that they had. And yeah, this is where I'm adding the black one. And then basically that's all I'm going to do the layout, you guys. I think this turned out so cute. Make sure you check out the playlist. We have been adding to our group, our little tribe here, so we should have a couple more folks playing along. So make sure you look at the playlist and see who that is. And also the description will have some Instagram links, things like that. Make sure you do like and subscribe. I do post videos. I'm going to start adding some different kinds of content. My daughter was helping me brainstorm yesterday. She says, Mom, you need to add some organization videos and you need to add some favorites and things like that. So I'll try to start adding a few little different kinds here. So you guys let me know what you like. Comment below. Say, hey, I like to watch XYZ kinds of videos. And I'll see if I can't put some other stuff in here. Anyway, y'all have a lovely day. And I hope you do, whatever you want to do. Have a good one. Bye.